I was 11 years old, and I walked into 5th grade. And as I walked past this little boy, and I remember him saying to me, "I like your bobby socks." And he looked at me, and I looked at him. That was the moment I truly fell in love with my best friend.
Grew up in a small Jewish community, Susan and Jeffrey were inseparable. Even when they went off to different colleges and dated other people, they remained best friends.
And Jeffrey understood me from the minute we met. I understood him, and he understood me, and we always got along.
One night in 1968, things got out of hand.
We were drunk, and we woke up in the morning naked on the floor, couldn't remember anything we did, nothing. 6 weeks later, I was pregnant.
The two decided there was one thing to do.
Well, it was Troy, New York, 1968. Nice Jewish community. His parents knew my parents. There was no abortion, nor would I have. Right. There was no, you didn't do anything. You got married. You did the right thing.
Just 1 week after the wedding, Susan miscarried.
And that's how my marriage started out.
Susan and Jeffrey saw no reason to end their marriage. They made a commitment before God, until death do us part. Loved each other and got along well, but Jeffrey put up a wall, one that was impossible for Susan to get around. A few months later, during a huge fight, Susan discovered that Jeffrey had a secret.
He proceeds to tell me that he thinks he's gay because he has had a couple of homosexual relationships while in college. The argument was vicious. What does this mean? What do we do? I mean, we were crying, we were fighting. It was a hard...
Susan tried to live with Jeffrey's homosexual lifestyle and attempted to convince herself it wasn't so bad.
I had an incredible lifestyle. We traveled, financial, we were eating out, we had ballet tickets. I loved my lifestyle. I had more to lose than gain. I was worse without him than with him. I had justified everything. So he was a homosexual. We would never have left each other. It had to be by death. I made a commitment, till death do me part. I would never have not fulfilled God's word. I said I do, I would.
In 1981, while watching the evening news, Susan learned about AIDS and how it was killing homosexual men.
I froze in front of the television. And then after I heard that, I went in the bathroom and I threw up. And it was at that moment, while I was retching over the toilet, that God said to me, "Stay with him now and love him more than ever, because one day he's going to need you like he's never needed you before." And that's the first time God truly spoke.
Susan asked Jeffrey to get tested for AIDS, but he declined. So she did what was necessary, abstain from intimacy with Jeffrey, and be by his side through his illness.
And then about 1990, I asked him again if he'd get a test, because I was beginning to see the changes. Subtle. There's no way I knew he could avoid it.
In the early 1990s, Jeffrey became ill. Susan knew it was AIDS. In a year, her husband was dead. In the wake of her sorrow, Susan started asking questions about her purpose in life, and she asked those questions for a decade.
Why was I on the outside looking in? Why?
That why was soon to be answered. In 2003, while weightlifting, Susan's neck gave out. Her 5th cervical vertebrae had collapsed. During her recovery after surgery, Susan was given a book that spoke of God's Son, Jesus.
And slowly, the more I learned about Jesus Christ, the more I realized that that's what was keeping me going.
In 2006, after finding a church where she learned about the saving grace of Jesus, Susan committed her life to Christ.
How could a Jewish girl, Orthodox Jewish girl from Troy, New York, end up getting pregnant by her best friend, stays married? He's a homosexual. He passes away from HIV. I'm married 25 years, would do it all over again. 13 years later, I'm a reborn Christian living in Boca Raton. What about God and Christ don't you get in this picture?
This is crazy that a Jewish woman in Boca Raton would be standing up on Communion Sunday.
Today, she's a crusader for abstinence and AIDS testing. She wants everyone to God's Son Jesus Christ can do for them.
I am a living testimony to the testimony of Jesus Christ. And I'm very proud to be a Messianic Jewish woman, a reborn Christian Jewish woman, and to state that I think you should try it. You might like it.